Listen, let me start this statement off by saying welcome to the show. Here to put you up on topics that you really need to know. Live and center from the Ville, I introduce the coolest host. Y.C.S.W.U, the DJ, got you ready, good to go.
Peace, everybody. I am Bonna. I am here taking over the YouCan'tSitWithUsRadio. I got some beautiful souls here with me, some beautiful creatives, some beautiful friends. And, man, I just want to share the platform, allow them to express themselves. And we're going to talk about mental health and whatever else sparks their interest. So I guess I'll start with my brother, Reggie. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you do and why you're here today.
I appreciate you. We got to take over. Let's go. My name is Reggie D. Ford. The D stands for Don't Get It Twisted. I am a mental health advocate, as my shirt says. I am a motivational speaker, best-selling author, and entrepreneur. A lot of different things, but I think the mental health advocate is the number one thing that's driving a lot of the passion and purpose behind what I do right now. It started with experiencing success from all the traditional senses of the word. I have a career in finance and accounting, and I've been recognized as one of the top people doing that at a very young age. And I found myself unhappy and unfulfilled and straight up miserable. And that's when I knew that my mental health was important for me to tap into, because if I was chasing the wrong things, mainly external validation, I wasn't gonna ever feel that peace. And so I had to figure out what it was that got me in the place of being so miserable despite what the world applauded. And it was a lot of soul searching, finding me, loving me, trusting me, all those things. And so I try to spread that message so that other people can benefit from loving themselves and taking care of their mental health too.
Absolutely. Love that. Love that. Every time this man speak, I just be like, God, so much respect and love for you.
Same. It's right back.
I love it. I told y'all Lightsy light. I'm gonna go ahead and switch it over to Coco.
Courtney Crowder, also known as Miss Organic Coco. Just here really to connect, bring the connection to mental health from a what you consume standpoint. Being always an advocate for being mindful of what you intake through your mouth, through your eyes, through your ears, because that does play a huge role in your mental and spiritual health. So that's why the Miss Organic is a brand that I am working on to keep it organic, keep it original, keep it authentic, and be mindful.
Yes, love that. I love that. Okay. I'm going to keep my comments to myself. Come on, CEO Shy.
My name's Cheyenne North, also known as CEO Shy. And where to start? Much like Reggie, in his experience, feeling success, and then kind of going through, this, issue with your mental health when it becomes, evident that something's going on. And so for me, though, it happened earlier on, when I was in college, at the, peak of my basketball career. Everything's going great, and, my mental health just plummets. And it's when I first became, aware that, something was going on, but I speak more from the perspective of overcoming that, hitting that roadblock, and then going on to still be, great, in everything that I was doing and everything that I, wanted to pursue. And so I retired from playing basketball a couple years back. I'm a global supply chain analytics developer for a large company.
All I hear is money.
And yeah, that's always my perspective. I'm gonna let people say their piece, speak their piece, get their emotions out on paper, but I'm more for moving forward, for seeing where you're gonna move on from that point. So that's the perspective of mental health that that I like to preach about.
Yes, I like that. One of those titles I didn't hear. I'm waiting on that. You left out about what you do. Just trying to figure out where that title went. You don't know what you do? You're a manager?
I mean, you do so much. You try to pick and choose
what's
relevant to the conversation. You do so much. I thought you was talking about what you want me to 2-time Hall of Famer.
Hey.
I ain't even get there.
I'm a super modest girl, but I do dive into like music management. I try to get away from the word management. So I try to look at it more so as consulting. So officially creative consulting instead of managing. Most people don't have much to manage.
Love that.
That's real.
I was just waiting on you to speak on it, and the 2-time Hall of Fame.
2 times.
That's
2 times.
crazy, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, whichever. But see, that's what I'm saying. Whichever, it was gonna be.
It was
fire.
more. We knew it was more. It was
right?
more to
So
that.
I love that. Man, y'all, we just here really to just bring enlightenment around mental health, and I just appreciate y'all for even stepping into this realm, because y'all know that's what I talk about all the time. Most conversations that I have with anybody is gonna be about mental health, in some form. And I really do want to talk about, because I feel like a lot of us have that perseverance.
Perseverance.
You know, that's his favorite word, right? And I love
if
that.
you can hear it say persevere.
Persevere.
Yeah.
Yes, I feel like it's very necessary, y'all. And I have not shed a light on where I am currently, because I feel like it's a part of my testimony to keep it under wraps until, it's under the soil right now, and I'm still watering it and still nourishing it before I get ready to speak on it. But I definitely want to talk about what that looks like in real time when you're going through different things. And I mean, we're human, we are on this physical space to experience life, but whatever's going on here, we still have to experience this. So whether that's work, you're a parent, a spouse, whatever that is, I really just want to speak about like moving past whatever those things that are coming up, because it starts here, but we got to get out of here to experience what happens here, and vice versa. So I just wanted to speak on how you all individually move past those things that come up and keep the light, right, versus being in your own world under a rock. Come on, Reggie.
So it's one thing you spoke about was like experiencing the mental health in college, and having that be a big part of your experience. It was a big part of mine. I just wasn't acknowledging it. And one thing that I noticed that's different about today than yesterday was when I go through the triggers, when I'm triggered, when I have hard days, one of the things is like it doesn't last as long as it used to, and it's not at the same intensity as it used to.
Okay.
It used to be, because I've been addressing certain things to really understand why I react the way that I do. Why do I have the tolerance or intolerance for certain things the way that I have them, and that it's like, again, it's like a whole journey of self-discovery. And so like, I'll be real, like it was like 3 weeks ago, I was just feeling like shitty from Monday to Wednesday, and luckily I had a therapy session on Wednesday, and so like, man, right on time. And but Monday I woke up after a good weekend. It was like nothing that was like that I felt could have caused me to wake up in the way that I did on Monday. But I was depressed. I was like, I'm ready to get up out of here. Like, I mean, and like, I like to, I think my recurring thing is retreat, get away. Like, I want to be on an island where nobody knows me. That's what happens when I get in that space. And that was just the feeling. And so I had that therapy session, and we going back and we trying to figure out like, why am I feeling this way? And emotional flashbacks became real. I understood what that meant. My therapist, like, it sounds like, as a complex PTSD survivor, it sounds like emotional flashback right now. Meaning something happened that triggered the emotions that put me back into a space when I was younger, when I needed to survive. 2 to 3 weeks before that Monday when I woke up, I saw my dad for the first time in 5 years. And I saw him, I walked up to him and his wife. I said hey to his wife, gave her a hug, congratulated her because they had just gotten married. And then I looked at him and I was like, what's up, old man? Cricket. Didn't even look at me, didn't acknowledge me.
That's intense.
And I like, thinking, man, I'm healed. That ED don't even exist.
Right? We always think we healed, and then something happened and we like,
exist. Sure. And so I'm like, I'm gonna be straight. And I went on and I was cool. And then that Monday hit. And then that Wednesday of that therapy session, I cried for a whole hour. And there was a lot of pain, a lot of grief around that, and that just the situation of not having my father when I was a child, then having them, and then not again.
Yeah.
And so I think coming back to knowing that the work is working. Again, the intensity and the duration is shorter and not as intense, but it still hurts. It still hurts.
So you just basically let it out, let the emotions out, feel it, and then get back to business.
Yeah. Once I got finished crying, I was like, let's go.
Like
I'm back.
Sometimes, like, after I cry, I laugh at myself.
Yeah.
Because I'll be like, damn, I actually feel better.
Yeah,
like,
you do.
It's crazy because it's like, I hate to say I feel bipolar because that is a very serious mental health term, but I sometimes just don't know what to do with that feeling because I'm like, why am I laughing at myself for crying? But I literally feel good. It's and I just be like, you know what? It is what it is. I'm just sitting here like, all right, but
and
I just
you gotta let them tears out. My auntie, she was on my podcast and she said, tears are the release valve for the heart. I was like, hell yeah. I need to hear that.
For sure.
And we all beating out here. We all got a heart. We all human. And so
it's a scientific reason behind it, but Bonna ain't finna do that right now because y'all. Anywho, did you want to speak on anything? You know, how you move past those things that come up?
Absolutely. I'm just sitting with what Reggie said, which is always hard to follow with this.
Listen, I'm gonna start making Reggie speak.
Yeah, but
I appreciate you.
You know what I'm saying? Iron sharpens iron. That's what I was as an athlete. You know, I lean on a lot, but what spoke to me about perseverance is like discipline and habits. You know, on my way over here, I Googled mental health because we hear so many different definitions and terms used to describe it, and what I grouped all of that up into is what I could control. And what I can control is my discipline and my habits, because as we all know, things happen. You know, we have so little control. I hate seeing a picture of the universe and being like, I don't even see the earth, let alone myself. So you realize how small everything is.
Thanks.
And so it's so many things happening. And it's important to have something that you can lean on when you don't feel like it. You know what I'm saying? When you don't have the energy, when you're not in a good mood, and to be able to control the things that you can control in the midst of something, because we do know that the things will come up. We do know that they'll happen. It's just a matter of when, you know what I'm saying? So what can I control in those moments? And I can control my habits and my discipline. And you only can control that once you build them, right? And so that's how I address my mental health, is establishing good habits, you know what I'm saying, for myself. So I know that when those things occur, like I know that they will, like, you know, you go to sleep one day and you're having a great day and you wake up the next day and something awful has happened. And you really don't have a way to respond, and you hope that you have good habits, so when you start to lean back on them, it's something positive. So that's what perseverance. That's what perseverance means to me.
It's so funny because as you were talking, two things stuck out to me. And one being like that discipline. It's almost like it makes me, and I'm gonna come to you because you are very intentional about eating, what you're listening to, like being mindful of all of those things and how they affect your mental health. And I feel like with discipline and forming those habits, eating is one of those things that I feel like
big time.
I mean, okay, let's just be honest. If we go out, you know, and we partying, and you know, we talk about stuff like this all the time, but like you partying, you eating BS, you drinking, and if you smoke, you're smoking, and all of these things, right? And then you're in a setting where people are dancing, and you know, you might listen to some music. And I'm a stickler for music. I love music, but all the music is not positive. Right. So we listening to all of that, we consuming all of that, and yes, we're having a great time, and I love to like be mindful of the fact that yes, we're having a great time, but when you go to sleep,
if you can
go to sleep, right? You go to sleep, and then you know, we like, oh, I'm so tired, let me just go ahead and pass out, right? And then boom, you go to sleep, and then you wake up the next day, and you might have one of those days where you like, fuck, man, what did I do, man? You know, I just had a little fun last night, right? Which it is fun. So I try not to be that person that's like anal about this human experience, but it's like we consider it as fun, and then we wake up the next day and we feel like shit, and then we trying to figure out, man, all I did was ate some hot wings and drunk some Douce, and then you know, I was listening to some Boosie and I was smoking hookah. Like, what did I do? What did I do wrong? Or most people, this is me being a conscious person. Some people don't even have that dialogue with themselves. They just like, why am I feeling like this? Or, oh God, this was like whatever. I was feeling good last night. Now I'm feeling like shit. But it's like, you ain't really got a hangover. You know what I mean? Your hangover is the shit that you put in yourself and the remnants of that. So like, I just thought that was so funny because I'm like, yeah, we form these habits that we don't recognize in real time, and then we wonder why we're stressed or.
And what you just said about like being that aware, even asking why is awareness. Yeah. But some people just gonna. No.
They're gonna pop
snap
a pill.
on somebody. You know what I'm saying? Snap on somebody the next day. Yeah. It wouldn't have happened yesterday because of what was in them the day before. But to tomorrow, they beat the kid or they, go off at work. They ain't have the awareness to say, why do I feel like I'm ready to strangle this kid or I'm ready. And so like you got awareness, and I think that's growth, right? Oh, for sure. And understanding it. But like it's these conversations, being mindful. I would love to hear you talk about.
I was just about that's what we was gonna go. That's why I pointed to her, because I'm like, damn, you got to be mindful of what you consume.
I'm very big about everything in moderation. Yeah, everything, whether it's people, food, music, what you watch, everything in moderation. Everything doesn't need to be so repetitive and constant habits. Like you said, having the discipline to be aware enough to understand that, okay, maybe this isn't help. Maybe looking at scrolling every day for so many hours.
I left that part out.
Is not healthy, right? Maybe I'm doing too much comparison on social media, right? So, bringing that awareness to social media is what I strive to do. Being in that space to really just drop gems of perspective and not really say anything is right or wrong, but just offer perspective. Yeah,
that's so true.
And moderation.
I love that. That's so. When you always say perspective, and I'm always like, that's all that it is, though, right?
Always. Because I don't ever say anybody's right or wrong. It's just
because what is right and what is wrong.
Exactly.
Like I really look at that now differently because y'all, I'm a Jhené Aiko fan, right? That's literally at one point I was like infatuated with her. But she has this song, and I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go too deep down a rabbit hole. But she has a song that says basically, is it real? Like what's real? What's fake? Like she literally goes down like all the opposites, basically. Like, is it? I'm finna pull it up. Y'all can move on, but I'm finna pull it up.
Like what you said about social media, I was I really hate social media, to be honest. Like I hate posting on it. I hate consuming it, but I do it, right? I still do it. And I'm not saying that I'm above anybody that does it. I just I know in my soul I don't want to do it, but it's just, that's the algorithm. That's the addictive parts of it. But like the first post on my page was kind of a critique of sort of like a parody of like social media, because it's this thirst trap. It's a clear thirst trap.
That's all it is.
But that's all it is.
Sorry.
But if you read the caption, right? The caption, it was my first time actually opening up and being vulnerable online to the world. And so it's like, yeah, you can see something and believe what you see, but underneath it, and it was about like being in the best shape of my life. But like the best shape of my life came with like from foot to head, like injuries, plantar fasciitis, knee pain, hip pain, back pain, spasms, all of that, tension, migraines. I was, high blood pressure in my early 20s, probably even in my teens if I had gotten it tested. I was just awful human to a lot of people. And that was me at the best shape. And it's like, no, this is not it, right? It can look a certain way, but there's so much life that doesn't get posted on social media. I try to be intentional about not only posting the highlights, because life is all of that. And so like if I remember I posted like I was top 100 in finance, and that was like I was getting congratulation messages while I was holding my granddad's hand. He was dying. And I'm like, look, I can't be sitting here saying thank you without acknowledging the realness that's happening right now. And so I like posted this picture. I'm like crying right now. I appreciate y'all, but like this is real life. And so like it's real. It's like a comparison of highlight reels, and it's just not fair to you as a human going through that.
Perception is
Man.
an interesting thing. Seems to be everything, but
Yeah. I literally, y'all be so numb. Sometimes I just be scrolling mindlessly, and it's not really mindlessly because
Right.
you literally, you're still intaking it, right? But like sometimes I'll just get in a warp, and I'm just like, la 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 la.
Yep.
I'm just like, what
Yep.
the fuck?
and it's safe to like. You have control, more control than you think of your own algorithm.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So I tell people that
Yes.
you can control your algorithm.
Facts.
Don't click
What
on
you
no
don't
video
wanna
you
see,
don't want to look
right,
at
if you
because
don't wanna
gonna
see it,
1,000 of them.
Unfollow that page.
Yeah.
Try
Yep.
not to look at that page. If you see something that you don't like, don't try your best. Obviously, it's
Seriously,
hard.
because
But try your
1,000 videos
best.
or pictures will populate, and I know you were about to say
Absolutely.
something. I don't want to cut you off.
No, I was gonna just say, like to that point, my feed is a lot of words, right? Because I look at words and it's like inspirational messages or whatever it is. But then in the summer, so wintertime, summertime, they'll be different.
Yeah.
Summertime, I like to play golf now, and so like I'm like, man, how do I hit this dang ball? Like, and it's showing me how to do that, right? And so then my feed get populated with golf, but
You
not
really
as-
can control it.
you can control it, and it can change in a matter of
Very
like a couple
quickly.
days,
Oh, yeah.
like not even that long,
every day.
couple hours.
And the
When you
moment
talk.
I get
Yeah,
so
yeah,
right,
oh, yeah.
I get so
Listen.
irritated because I'll look at something and then for the next day I see it, I'm like, I'm just gonna get off because I
Yeah.
can't. Like I may look at it not intentionally.
Right.
I'm not thinking that like now my algorithm is about to be all it is, but it might look interesting and I click on it and I'm like, that doesn't mean that I want to see it.
Right,
Like,
yep,
like,
yep.
I just looked at
It's
it.
holding
Yep.
you accountable.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say.
Listen,
Look.
it be everything be a freaking mirror to me. Be like, you know what? Leave me
Look,
alone.
to be mindful, this is what I do. I used to follow. I still do. I follow people that I really don't like to see their content, and when they post a lot.
Okay.
And when I get to their content, that's my message to get off that. Right. And so if it's somebody just irking to you, right? It could be a celebrity, it could be a regular person, but they post a lot, and so you're bound to see their content at some point. And I'm like, once I get to it, let me get off of that. Like that's your message to
good.
get up off of
I
that.
like that.
Like so find
like
somebody that
that.
you really can't stand the content of. It might be mine. Hey, let it be mine.
Listen, it might be mine.
Follow Reggie D Ford, and when I post, get off of that.
That is
Like, for
crazy,
real.
but I love that. I'm so glad you even spoke on that.
every day.
Yeah,
Like on my
just
story, like get
Hey,
off.
get off of that.
Because by the time you see this story, you probably done seen 1,000 stories.
Exactly.
So just go ahead and move around. That is so funny, and I'm gonna make sure I tag all of y'all. Thank you. But I did find the song, and it's so funny and so ironic. I didn't even need to look up the lyrics because this is literally my favorite song. But it literally says, "There's really no end. There's really no beginning. There's really no real. There's really no pretending. There's really no fail. There's really no winning. Because nothing really isn't. Everything really isn't." And it's literally just that. And it's one of those things where like everything is perception. So
Yeah.
it's like your favorite color could be green. It was my favorite color. So everything that you see, it just see how natural it just came.
Right.
Everything that you see green, you might be like, that's fire. But Reggie might be like, bro, if it was blue, I would be fucking with it.
Yeah.
But it's like it ain't really all of that.
Right.
But you think it's fire because it's your favorite color. So everything really is perception
True.
and perspective.
Yeah.
So wow.
I got a question for her. Okay.
Absolutely.
So, in sports, and I think like you talked about habits earlier, and I think that's a thing that's instilled in sports. Like you get so habitual in what you do to be great and successful. Talk about some of the habits that you have. Like I want to know some of the habits you have just
Come
to
on,
keep
talk
yourself
to a
going.
CEO, Shy. Give us the game.
Wow. Showing up first and
That's half the
foremost,
battle.
right? Like just that's half the battle. Your coach tell you that all the time. Like you show up, and a coach of mine, she said, "Fake it till you make it," right? Because I might not want to be here, but I have to be here, and so let me be here. Let me be where my feet are. And so showing up is half the battle. Having drive, right? Like I'm sitting here with you, right? And you're great at what you're doing, right? And that's not making me ball up into a ball. Like that's making me like, okay, yeah, all right. And that's not a bad thing. And afterwards, like I'm gonna dap you up. So it teaches you, competitiveness and not competition. I'm not in competition with you. I'm competing. I want to be as good as you. You're inspiring me. So that's a habit of mine to look and see something I can take from somebody rather than something that I'm repulsed by or I'm envious of. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so showing up, healthy competition.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
Healthy competition. Wow.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
It, you know, in the moment it seems so easy, right? And then you reflect back on it and realize, you know, like the things you took away from it that contributed to making you great.
No alcohol.
No alcohol,
No
right?
alcohol.
No alcohol. Right. That's a clarity.
No.
I'm not drinking alcohol
Since
right
when?
now. I'm almost at 75. I think I'm at like 62 days.
Okay.
Maybe.
Let's go.
So I was just trying to, you know, I did think back to playing sports. Like, you're not smoking, you're not
Facts.
drinking.
Focus.
For the most part, you know what I'm saying, you're focused.
Coach
and
don't know.
that contributes a lot to, like, you know, how successful you can be, right? Because that's
True.
you're being
True.
intentional, right, with your body. I'm eating better, right? That's a habit. Like, in season, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm eating better because I know what it takes to fuel me, you know what I'm saying, for the tournament. We got 5 games in 5 days. Is my body gonna hold up? It taught me to take care of myself.
True.
Right? You got to be intentional. You got to go to the training room every day before practice, and then sometimes after practice you got to stay and get treatment. But you know it's for the betterment of yourself. So that was a huge one. You said what?
Do you work out currently?
Yeah, not as much as I like to,
Yeah.
honestly. But the little bit you do, you understand that. You know what I'm saying? It's building blocks. It's building blocks to the season.
Absolutely.
You know, in preseason you work out 7 days a week. You know what I'm saying? And during season you work out 3 days a week. It's just based on, you know what I'm saying, like what you have going on. But it gave me just, outside of the habits, you know, what it just instilled in me in general was like a relentless pursuit of whatever I want. You know, before we won that national championship, I said I was going to do that. I wrote it down. I told my brother, you know what I'm saying, I'm like, I'm winning the whole thing this year. You know what I'm saying, like, no matter what that takes. And then we won it. I had wrote a letter to myself, you know what I'm saying, before the season started.
That's
saying
real.
this would happen.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? We were the lowest ranked team in the national tournament. You know what I'm saying? The
That's a
smallest,
testament
the
in
undersized.
itself.
Man.
We only had 7 players. You know what I'm saying? And so
That's correct.
diabolical.
What?
we were hurt. Everybody was like getting dinged up, so we took 7. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
and my
my
coach
God.
kicked somebody off before we went just for playing.
So was it 7 or
taking-
6?
We had 8 before he kicked
Okay.
her
Oh
off.
my God.
That's crazy.
But he stood on business.
Yeah, he
right?
did.
He was just like, we only taking people who deserve to go.
Wow. That's
For
big.
sure.
And we'll
Damn.
win without her. We taking the 7 that have shown
That's
they deserve
real.
to go. And we wouldn't won with that 7. You know what I'm saying? So
That's
that means a lot to me. You know what I'm saying? And then it also shows me like how quickly things can change for you. 2 years before that, you know, I was one of the highest ranked players like in Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? I was ranked on ESPN nationally. I tore my ACL, you know, before the start of my senior year. I went to Belmont still, signed a 4-ride scholarship to one of the most prestigious schools in the world, and was unhappy. Left, dropped out of school twice, went to 3 JUCOs, quit. And then I was at home working at McDonald's and UPS. And I had one more opportunity. I took it, in 2 years after that, I was the best player in the country.
Let's go.
Period.
If you can hear, say persevere.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it showed, like, outside of the game, what you put into the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of those things showed me like what I could do outside of sports. You know what I'm
That's
saying? Because
powerful.
winning the championship was just a culmination of everything I did before that point.
That's
You know
beautiful.
what I'm saying? So
That's beautiful.
that's what the game.
Relentless
you know
pursuit.
Yeah.
Yo,
That's
like
the game
that
taught
is
me for sure.
Yeah.
intense. I
Oh, that's
love this.
powerful.
I'm not even gonna hold y'all. Y'all done started something because I want to keep doing this. I feel like I'm at home. I feel like I'm with.
You
like,
are.
I am, and I told them this the last time I was here, and it may be the energy and the space, but I mean, when I have individual conversations with each of you, I feel the same way. But I never wanted to be a Potter. You know, I never wanted to get into that realm. But I think these are just necessary conversations that I don't think people really take the time to have.
True.
And how easy it
True.
is for us to just sit down. We didn't have a game plan. We were just like, we're gonna talk about mental health,
True.
right? And I just love how seamlessly the conversation flowed, and I feel like it's very necessary to keep it going because a lot of people that look like us don't have enough conversations about it. And like you were saying, even asking why, you know, is awareness, and most people don't even ask themselves why.
Yeah.
And I wonder, and this may be just right, like completely left, but I wonder how many people even look in the mirror. Like, and I mean the literal mirror, and you know what I mean, because it's like, yeah, we gotta see ourselves to brush our teeth, wash our face and all of that, but like, what about the other mirror? that we need to be looking at, and I just wonder how many people do that. So I just think it's very necessary for us to have these types of conversations. And I do want to say something. It's so funny, y'all. Like, I was at the lowest point of one of my like little stints that I be going on. I have these little moments where I just kind of go in and out. I be under a rock, but it's so childish. But like, y'all know the dark and the light mode on your phone. Like, mine was dark for years. Like, when I first got the iPhone, I jumped on the iPhone trend super late. But y'all, I changed my brightness and my mode to light. And I don't know what that has done to my mental health, but it makes me feel completely different. Wow. And I tried to switch it back to dark mode. And I'm not saying that y'all have to do this, but when I switched it back to dark mode, I instantly got depressed. And I'm like, and I mean, you can't really see that much because I don't know what it looks like to y'all because if y'all use the dark mode. But like, even just seeing the white versus the black, to me, that did so much for my mental health. So I just completely avoided the dark mode altogether, even on social media apps. So now I'm looking at light. That's and it. I just really, to me, that's just like filtering out all of the unnecessary darkness that we already have to go through, because dark amplifies light. And we talk about it all the time, but I just feel like when you're mindful of how much light versus dark you consume, I think that plays a part in your mental health. But man, y'all, look.
Can I say one thing?
I was just about to say, if anybody
can
got
I say one thing
to
to the fellas, because as a person in mental health, I'm often in rooms or often speaking with women, and it's rare that I'm surrounded by a group of men, which is one of the reasons why I started my podcast, talking to men. Initially talking to men so that we could have vulnerable conversations. The podcast is Vulnerability Muscle, but
shameless plug.
But my folks, my fellas, like, as long as you got a brain in your head, as long as you think thoughts, like, mental health is going to be a significant part of your life. And it's not something to be ashamed about if you need help. Like, we needed help when we were infants and babies in order to survive. We need help today. It just evolves. And so get the help that you need. Open up about things. And if you got shame around something, listen to my story, because I done and experienced some shit. And I'm here, and it gets applauded when I'm able to be vulnerable. And if you're single and you're looking for a lady or a partner, people like that. People like to be able to see what's underneath the surface. And so, that's just my plug to the fellas and getting in this conversation about mental health.
Man, get them there whatever way you need to.
Listen, I appreciate that. But no, go ahead and shout out y'all social media. We'll start with you, Coco, before we move on.
It's miss.organic_Coco.
Period.
Reggie D. Ford, all platforms.
CEO Shy, that's CEOCHEY on Instagram. I'm not on really anything else.
Yeah, I love that. I love Instagram, y'all. And mine is Love Bonna Bae, LOVEBONNA BAE. I think that we have started something, and I am going to present my own podcast, Is Your Purpose Lit podcast, coming this fall. I would love to do a separate series for this conversation, these types of conversations, because I feel like it's very necessary. But I appreciate y'all. Much gratitude.
Appreciate you.
Y'all already know when we have these types of conversations, I get super jittery. I get super excited because not enough people talking about it. So I appreciate y'all, man.
Thank you.
I appreciate love, y'all.
Love.
Man,
it's home right here.
Super love.
Yeah.
Peace.